My name is Greg Goldfarb. I'm an attorney downtown Miami, Florida. Welcome to my video blog. This will be part 3 of my blog on whether you should purchase automobile rental insurance when you rent a vehicle. As I explained in my first 2 series, the answer depends, and it depends on a few factors which might require you to do a little investigation. My second installation, I went through the types of losses that one might experience if you're involved in an accident when in a rental vehicle. And the purpose of that was so that while you do your due diligence, you will understand what it is your own insurance policy might cover and what a credit card would cover. At that point, you will see what you are not covered for, and then you can make the decision whether to spend a little extra money on the automobile insurance or take a chance and hope that you're covered. I'm going to tell you what I was typically doing until I researched this issue and saw the amount of issues that can come about as a result of an automobile accident when you're renting a vehicle. I used to always say no, thinking, well, my automobile insurance policy might cover it. So in Florida, we have automobile insurance requirements, including what's called property damage and personal injury protection. So when you want to, you should take your due diligence and make the first step to call your insurance agent and find out what coverage you have. Not only are the types of coverage like bodily injury, property damage, and personal injury protection important, the amount of coverage you have is also critical. So, for example, if you have $25,000 of bodily injury protection, essentially what you're protected for is $25,000 worth of damage that you cause to someone else. Medical expenses, their lost income, any monetary issues that they might incur as a result of your act of negligence while driving your rent-a-car. So even though you might have bodily injury coverage under your own insurance policy, you might want to take a look at how much coverage is afforded before you decide to say no automatically to the rental-car agency. So when you go to the rental-car agency, you are going to be faced with terminology that's a little different than what you're used to in your automobile policy. So for example, in Florida, personal injury protection, property damage, bodily injury, uninsured motorists, these are the types of coverages that we get offered and that we can purchase in Florida. When you go to the rent-a-car agency, they are going to ask you if you want collision damage waiver, which is CDW. They're going to ask you if you want liability insurance, personal accident insurance, and personal effects coverage. These types of coverages are similar to what or maybe the same as what you have in your automobile insurance policy. CDW, the collision damage waiver, is the typical one that most people are presented with first, and that turns out to be the damage that they would be faced with if your car is damaged, the rent-a-car, or is actually stolen. That's another type of loss that can occur where if you don't have the proper insurance, you might be faced with a very big bill. The other types of coverages are essentially the same as what I described, either the bodily damage, the bodily injury, or the property damage. So once you can determine with your insurance agent what you have coverage for, you then can move on to the next step. The next step will be regarding what coverage your credit card covers and how to handle that in terms of making your assessment during your due diligence on whether you should purchase the insurance or not. A couple of little issues that I'd like to discuss in connection with determining what your own automobile insurance policy covers. First of all, what should one do if they do not own a vehicle and they actually want to rent a vehicle? Obviously, if you do not own a vehicle, most likely you do not have automobile insurance. Therefore, you could not fall under your own automobile insurance policy. The most critical factor of this particular issue is the fact that driving without insurance is a crime. So you do not want to be in a situation where you don't have automobile insurance you get a rental car and you don't pick up their automobile insurance or some other alternative arrangement. The likelihood that a rental car agency is going to let you off their lot without you showing proof of insurance is not too great. In my experience, it's rare that I've had a rental agency ask me for proof of insurance, but if you are going to decline the insurance from the automobile agency, it's a good idea for you to bring proof of insurance. Some people also are going to rent a vehicle for a long period of time, and you might want to realize that lengthy rentals might not be covered under your own automobile insurance policy. So you definitely want to square that away with your automobile insurance agent at home. Thank you very much.